You're on.
Yay, we're live. Well, hey y'all that are here, and hey guys that are here. We are excited. So we're gonna start off just introducing who we are, where we come from. We're from up north, as you guys have heard. So we're gonna give you guys our story. For those of you guys who are here, we have a workbook. And I'll explain like why I did it and all that good stuff so you'll understand that. So hopefully you guys have pens, but I see you guys have notebooks and good stuff. And then we'll just go into some just general tips, of course your questions, just learning more about your goals and kind of what you guys want to accomplish and rolling from there. So I'm Patrice, this is Corey. And I'm 26 years old. I'm from Maryland. I'm from Baltimore, Mississippi. Excited, so we're gonna start off with this broadcasting at the same time.
Oh, I do have a window. Oh, goodness gracious.
I happened to ask my family, a lot of my calls, and I'm like, am I have a double? Or okay, does someone talk to me like this is broadcasting? So I'm from Maryland, I'm 26. I've been here for a little over 2 years. So I came on board November 2012. And I started for a couple reasons. I did not want my love handles anymore, so of course that's going to be a large motivator. But I had over $125,000 of student loan debt. So for those of you guys who went to school, who's going to college, who is debt like me, yeah. So for me, I went to school. I had internships that turned into jobs. I was excited about that. But with the economy around 2011. A lot of jobs were laying people off. So I started right in the workforce when folks are laying people off. So I was super scared because I am the youngest and basically the stupidest because everyone else around me has been there and knows their job. So when people got laid off, I was an instructional designer. So I designed training courses. I love training people. So I designed things just like this for Johnson & Johnson and Cigna, and it was a lot of fun. But when that happened, I decided to take a safer job with the state government with a $10,000 pay cut, though. So what that meant for me day to day was my bills were an option and no longer just, natural. So I no longer had extra money for groceries. I no longer had extra money for gas, for work clothes. So I worked from home before. And like I said, we're from up north, so it's cold. You need work pants and blazers and things, and I just didn't have that stuff and couldn't afford it either. So I knew I had to do something different. So I took a part-time job as a call center rep. How many of you guys have kids or been to the hospital before? Pretty much everybody, right? I'm not sure if it happened to you yet, but they're gonna call you guys and say, "How was your hospital stay on a scale of 1 to 10?" Right? You guys gotten that call before? That was me. I hated it. Why do you want to know? I hated my hospital stay, and that I just know. So I quit that job, and I was sitting home, and my coworker was like, "Well, I want to have a wrap party. It'll be a lot of fun. Here's the girl's results." So I saw her results of her friend. I'm like, "Well, let's try it. Like, whatever." So I got amazing results, right? So I'm guessing you guys got good results too because you're still sitting here. Yes. So we got good results from the product, and I saw how much money could be made. So at a wrap party, we can make anywhere from $150 to $400 just for a 2-hour party. That meant everything to me. That was my whole paycheck. The girl made $200. I got $200 from that job, working it part-time. So I'm like, 2 hours, 2 weeks. Let me at least see what she's doing, even though I don't have any experience in sales. Like, I never owned a business, never did sales before, but I'm like, well, she's just talking to people. Like, I can talk to people. I don't know. And if all she had to do was just rap them, it took 2 seconds. Like, it just made sense to me. So when I tried everything, it looked good. I asked a bunch of questions. I Googled everything that comes into people. I felt comfortable doing it. So I got started. I wrapped myself as you guys have, and I got great before and afters again, and just shared them with people. Facebook, Instagram. I text my friends. You go to group text with your friends, and I'm like, "Hey, look at me!" And I played my lunch party from it. My first lunch party had 3 people come. Most people were like, "Oh, I said 3 people came." Like, I'm so excited. So just your attitude, of course, makes the whole difference. And just from there, I had weekly wrap parties, and we had people coming over twice a night. He'd leave them out in the cold because we didn't know who they were. So I'll have him tell his story. But for my production, I guess from there, I started off January 2013 as distributor, just not ranked anything. By the end of February, I was diamond, and by the end of that April, I was triple. So like what I say, when I saw you could make money here, I wasted no time. I just ran with it. Training, rapping, parties, Instagram, Facebook, whoever would listen to me talk, I'm talking to them. So that was really what I did. And then at that point, I was able to actually leave my government job June of 2013. So I've been home for almost 2 years now, just doing this, traveling, hanging out, training, rapping people, just having a good time. So that's where I come in at. But Corey was not always on board, right? He thought I was crazy. So I'm gonna let him tell his story and kind of how he ended up by my side.
All right. So
I can see your point.
we'll go back to basically about almost 2.5 years ago, right? So it's not 85 and sunny where I live at. It's like 30 and like 4 to 6 inches of snow outside. And I would notice that she came home from a rep party and she was excited. She's like, I'm going to do this, right? And I've been in sales for like over 10 years, right? So like I'm conditioned to people talking to me about this stuff, and my answer is always no, right? Like we just, no, like no matter what it is, no. You want a friend's house? No. You want a free airplane ticket? No. You want to do, no, right? So she's like, hey, like this, I went to this party, this girl got resolved. I mean, I'm sorry, I got resolved. This girl made like $200 and all she did was talk to me. Like she didn't do anything special. I want to do this, right? So I'm like, okay, all right, fine. I don't know what it is. I knew nothing about raps. You know, for the guys in here, I didn't know that you ladies was into stuff like this. I didn't know stuff like this existed. I was just as green as grass. So I told her, you know, go ahead and start it, and I was supportive. And what that basically meant was that was permission for her to do, right? That was basically saying like, okay, you're allowed to do so. And what happened was, you know, people started to come past the house and like knock on the door. And, you know, I'm not a single man anymore, so when it's like 2 or 3 chicks outside the door, like, I don't know why they're there. You know, it's a little weird, especially because she didn't tell me people coming over to get wrapped. So, you know, long story short, I'd be sitting on the couch, watching TV, in a set up just like this. People will come in, go to the back room, get wrapped, laugh, talk, giggle, 5 minutes later, come back out. She sit back down on the couch and she would make $20, $30, $40, $100 a night. So, and that was every night, Monday through Friday. You know, so at this point, like, my attention is there. Like, okay, you spend like 5 minutes with these people, and like, they're waiting in the cold for you to come home from work, and they're basically like, please take my money, please take my money. That's all I need to know, right? Because people are excited, people want it, people are willing to go through, you know, unconventional circumstances, waiting outside, you know, someone's front door for them to come home. I didn't sit in the car, like, really standing outside the door. So that was enough to get me excited. Now, I still didn't know what the heck this thing was, and I didn't care. I just knew people were excited. So I actually got started February 8th of 2013, so a little more than 2 years ago, like 2 years, like a month or whatever, right? And when I started, we had really simple and basic goals. Our goal was to go Ruby, right? Like, you guys have all seen a Ruby chart, right? Like, you know what the boxes look like. Our goal was to go Ruby by December. Okay, we figured like all the other stuff, diamond, purple, and ambassador, like, it's not really real. You know what I mean? Like, at this time, I was working at Verizon and I was making 6 figures, and I really thought that, like, once you got to 6 figures, then like you win at life. Like, you know, you get a wife, you get a house, you get a dog, you get a fence, and you just wake up and do the same thing until you die, basically, right? And you know, so I didn't really believe that people, besides celebrities and athletes, could make more than like 6 figures in a year. It seems reasonable. So we just kind of, you know, focused in on just Ruby. That's the only thing we worried about. And I would be the executive, she'd be the Ruby, we get it done in a year. Things took off and, you know, turned into this massive beast that is basically the ripple effect of everyone sitting here in this room. So from the from the beginning of January through the end of February, so that 60-day window, which coincides with my 30 days of signing up, she went from distributor to diamond, she had a 10K bonus. When she did that, things got real funny in a sense, because I'm competitive, right? So if she did it, then I did it. And if I played a role in that happening for her, I could just duplicate my own stuff a couple more times and get it done. I ended up making $1,650 in that 30-day window. It was making like $700, $800 in cash from just rapping people and having like one-on-ones with them. $250 on commission check, another $400 or $500 from, helping people get started faster on everything. And that was enough to let me know, like, hey, like, this is something that's real. You know what I mean? Like, there's lots of cash just falling out of my pocket. You know what I mean? Like, it was nutty. And I did that in my spare time, basically. You know what I mean? Like, I was still working my 9 to 5. I was a full-time student at the time of that. So, like, this is basically just like a hobby. So I knew that if I took it seriously and went hard, that, like, who knows what I could get. I didn't know. I didn't care, but I knew I could keep going up. So within my first 90 days, 82 to be exact, I ended up going diamond. She promoted to triple. So she got, in addition to her 10K good bonus, she got a 25K. I got my 10K for going diamond. Within 5 months, I went triple. You went triple as well. Maybe like a month or two ahead of me or something like that. We earned another. Oh, sorry. Excuse me. So at that point, and the wild part was, like, I had more than 10,000 worth of debt. Like, the car I was driving at the time was in judgment status. So, like, when, like, lights went through the neighborhood, like, you heard like a loud truck, like a garbage truck, tow truck. I'm peeking out the window, like, they taking my car. Right, you know what I mean? So, like, I had debt. Like, I was making money, but I was still living check to check, which sounds crazy, but, like, you can vary, like, if you owe a lot of money, it's a whole heck of a lot easier to be like, I'm just going to ignore it and just live my life. And when I get a chance to pay it off, I'll get a chance to pay it off. Because when you're doing, $25, $50, $100 towards $1,000 debt or something, you're not going to make a dent. You know what I mean? So why upset your balance of life with something that, damage is already done, it's already in credit for it. Like, I mean, hell, like, I'll get to it when I get to it, basically. But this business allowed me to pay all of that debt off in that very short window. That extra income is what allowed me just to start dumping money on bills and just, wiping them out. So fast forward, so that puts us at, I went triple in July, right? So that's, what was it? It was June, July, I always forget. When did you leave?
I was off in June.
In June, okay. So we had an agreement. The agreement was when she made $16K a month, she would leave her job. She made 14 in June, and then that's when she left her state job, and then she became full-time. She told me at some point, I'm going to go full-time in this, and I said, yeah, okay. I didn't really buy into it or believe it because, like, hey, like, I'm making 6 figures. So, like, if the business don't pan out, and this is all very, this is like, 6 months basically into it with us, if it don't pan out, like, I can still hold down a household. You can go back and find another job anyway. You know what I mean? But things just kept growing and kept booming. I mean, you guys are all connected to us online, basically. So you guys have seen that we built a house. You guys have seen that we got married. You guys have seen that we paid debt off. You guys have seen that
you got our beautiful ring.
It came from at work, yes.
And all of that was through the company. All of that was basically like a part-time thing.
It happened so fast. I remember when you told me you got engaged and then you were building the house. The house is done, but it just happened so fast.
This last year was nuts, man. Nuts, but of course, we usually wait for things because we can't afford them all at the same time. So for us, it was living on demand. We wanted to do something. It wasn't like, oh, we gotta wait for, our savings account to catch up with our goals. We just did what we felt like it, and that's our personality. Like,
and through doing all of this too, the thing that's crazy when you think about it, like, we didn't tap out the pockets when we were doing all this. You know what I mean? Like, there was still money left over in the bank. So, like, we're extremely optimistic. I mean, dude, I got Old Navy shorts on. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't get some money and just start wearing like Gucci drawers or something. You know what I mean? So, like, we just keep it real modest. But yeah, that was the crazy part. So I ended up leaving my job the 10th of January, which was crazy for me because I didn't really think that I would get to that point. It was a difficult decision, not from a money standpoint, but I'll kind of look towards you because, as a man, like, my job's my identity. You know what I mean? Like, it allows for me to have everything that I have. It dictates who I am as a person. So leaving that, in a sense, was closing one chapter and coming into a whole brand new one. Now, I hadn't closed a chapter like that since I got out of high school. Like, if you got all the way back to 17, 18-year-old self, you leave high school, some people join the service, some people have kids, some people go to college, some people just get a job. So we all go in different paths and different directions. So your whole world is shaken up. So me leaving my job was basically repeating that same But what's going to happen next? Like, you know, the structure is being taken away, and basically it's all on me to make it happen. I didn't doubt that I could make it happen. It was just very different from me. It was something I had to adjust to. I like to say that I adjusted to it pretty fine, and I'm still adjusting to it now. It's only 2 months. You know what I mean? So, like, I have no idea what day of the week it is. I don't really care. Like, I don't care what the weather is because I don't have to leave the house. You know, I don't care about, you know, having a schedule to do laundry. Just little things that you get credit back for, you know? So it's pretty awesome. So that's kind of the story and how we got to this point. And we'll flip it back to you.
So where we are now, I'm residential. He's actually chartered fully for residential. So that time home allowed for us to do more on our business. So of course, you know, in order to go to the house. So when people ask, like, well, what did, like, how do you do it so fast? Like, what is it? It's all belief. You know, the business is 90% your own belief and 10% consistency. So that's why I have this, because I want to go through this with you guys. I want you guys to know that, like, if you believe in yourselves, if you believe in this business, if you believe in what changes you can make in your life, like for me, I had no sales experience. Right? So I didn't know what to do, but I was willing to learn. I was willing to make mistakes. I was willing to try. And I didn't really have the time. He didn't have the time either. You know, we could have told people, like, I don't have the money. I mean, there's so many things we could have decided for ourselves. But we were like, no, like, we believe, like, once we got that first glimpse of money, it's like, oh, if we do what we did last month again and do some more, you mean I can get some more? And we just never doubted that we could do it. So that's what pushed us, and that's what I want to leave you guys with, of course, today is like, the business can do it. The business is chilling. Like, if you tap into it, it'll change everything. But if you leave it to the wayside, well, of course life's going to happen. It's going to happen like you're here and your hand's gone. Okay? Like, so you decide, and I say, well, make sure you're okay. You're like, no, I don't care. I'm going to be there. That dedication is like what does it. Life is always going to happen. It's going to happen next week. It's going to happen next month. So what are you going to do today so you don't look back in 5 years and say, dang, that girl was talking about this business and I'm still broke. And my kids have still got the same, you know, circumstances. We still got soccer and we still got, you know, what's going to happen today that's different in your mind that you can leave differently. So this actually comes from Oprah because Oprah's my aunt. I don't care what you say, Oprah is my aunt. And I went to this, the Life You Want tour, which was last year, and I took my mom because my mom helped with my wedding, and I'm like, I haven't bought her a wedding gift yet. And I know she was, I mean, whose mom doesn't love Oprah, right? So I'm like, well, we'll just take her to Oprah. And I went really just for her, not even knowing that, like, it was going to change everything for me. But what it did for me was give me a lot of confirmation. Like, Oprah talked about her life in a way I never learned about. I just learned different things from different people. But this activity really stuck with me, so I wanted to share it with you guys. So the first thing I'm going to have you guys do, which is the first part, your beliefs, your heart's desire, who you were meant to be. Let's just like the intro to it. So what I want you guys to do for this page, right? So I want you guys to close your eyes for me, okay? I want you guys to picture someone that you love. It can be your significant other, your mom, your daughter or son. It can be someone else that's really close to you, like a best friend. But close your eyes and picture the face of someone that's really, really close to you, that you want nothing but the best for, okay? And what I want you to do is write in this really, not small, but transparent box. I want you guys to write everything down that you wish this person had in life. Whatever happiness it means for them. So if you have a mom and you want your mom to have, you know, the chance to vacation, like that was me for my mom, right? Like my mom started to think, well, the federal government at age 17, and she just retired at 57. So she literally worked her entire life, and she just didn't have a chance to do much outside of us. You know, her whole life was kids, husband, job, kids, husband, job. My daughter's crazy. So she just didn't have much else outside of that. But now that she has retired, you know, when I picture her, I just want her to have the freedom that she never had. She never got to just get up and go to Miami on a weekend. You know, that she wasn't able to do that. You know, of course, with my parent situation, my dad, like, we've just been a long road, of course, but his financial decisions put my mom into bankruptcy. She actually ended up owing the IRS over $100,000 herself, which meant they garnished her wages. She went into a depression. So with going through that and watching her go through that, I really, really, really wanted her to have freedom from that too. Like I didn't want to see my mom struggle anymore, especially from something that wasn't her fault. Like it's never really your fault, but for me, when I picture her, like she doesn't deserve that. She worked really hard her whole life. So all the things that you wish, whether it be, more time with family, vacationing, financial freedom, just whatever comes to mind, write those things down in this box for me. And it'll give you guys a moment to just do that. Now it's in your job, right? All done. So just take your time. We're here all night. So I'm going to kind of go around the room. Just give me one thing that you mentioned. So I'll start with Lily.
Well, I want my parents to live in financial freedom, have the retirement that they want to have, and be able to travel more. I also put my cousin in there because I want her to be financially free. I want her to be able to buy her first home. I want her to be successful and do what she wants to do with her husband and her child, and maybe have some more kids too.
I love that, so sweet. That's awesome, right?
Yeah.
So a couple people came to mind for you.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I have a few more, but I don't.
Okay. Different, right?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna get your names as we go around. So
Cynthia.
Cynthia, hi Cynthia.
Hello.
Give me something that you wrote down tonight.
It was for my mom. With all the stress, she's fighting this breast cancer for 2 years.
Okay.
So for her to go on vacation and just have all her bills paid off, but she worries about them a lot. So that's her piece there.
Okay. That's giving your mom peace. The vacation and no bills.
Exactly.
Love it, love it. All right, you was writing a lot, Miss Stephanie.
Yeah, a few things. But mostly my parents, because they're the ones I look up to. They sacrifice a lot for me. And one thing I would like them is a better living circumstance. Have them somewhere, we kind of live borderline ghetto. So, not that it's not safe, but in the house that we live in now, it can be way better for them, And I think that will make them a little happier, them to feel more comfortable.
Yeah, our parents are getting older, so there are things when you're younger, it's like whatever, we just then you kind of have more
like for you guys, you dream for your dream home, and you guys actually want it, and you guys are so happy there, and that changes a lot. It changes your mood, how you feel. You're at your house most of the time,
right.
So I think that a better living circumstance will be really good for them.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. And can we get your name?
Nicole.
Nicole. Hey, Nicole.
Hi. Okay, I have 2 people. My son. So my goal is to have his college paid off. I want him to be sitting on a nice IRA, so he doesn't have to worry about anything.
Okay.
And then I also want to put my dad in retirement.
So retirement.
Retirement dad. That's awesome.
Let me get your name.
I'm Tammy.
Tammy.
Mine are my 2 girls. I have 2 small girls. So my goal is to get them to like the best schools, until they graduate high school and have
Give them the best chance of life.
Yeah, and have like paid off college for both of them, that they don't have to worry about like anything but like going to school and becoming somebody in life, whoever they want to be.
Okay, so really giving them that freedom of course financial, but just freedom of being themselves. Because life decides for us who we're going to be sometimes, right? If you're going to be a cashier, you are going to be a cashier. That's going to be something in your future or not. So you you want them to be able to grow into who they felt they want to be, not
Right.
what they have to be.
And not have to worry about, because me growing up, I had to worry about a lot of like helping my mom with bills and working with her and everything. You know, we're immigrants, so we came, and she had to work a lot to take care of 3 kids by herself as a single parent. So I don't want my kids to go through that. You know, I don't want my kids to have to worry about that. I don't want them to worry nothing but going to school and becoming whoever they want.
So just having a different childhood than you had, I mean, you know why, we all know why, like, even
Right.
for myself, like, my parents are people, now we're adults, so we're like, you know, they're not bad as here, but it's just they had circumstances, and they just had to deal with them, so you don't want them to have to take the brunt of those circumstances. Love it, love it. And did you name?
My name's Yolanda, but I go by Yoli.
Hey, Oli.
My person would be my mom, and the first thing, I mean, it's all about my mom. So first thing would be to remodel our current house, and then also buy her a new house, because that's what she says she wants. And also to take her to New York so she can see the New York Yankees play. My mom loves baseball. And she's retired, but then they gave her too much money, so now the government wants some back, so she's working. So to like really make her be full-time retired.
Okay, so giving her freedom.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really big fear for a lot of folks that haven't retired yet, right? Like, my aunt's like, well, I was going to, but she knows, like, you know, it's one of those revolving doors, so that would be amazing to actually give her that freedom to come home, right? Awesome.
I'm Yessie,
Hey, Yaki.
and it's all about my mom too, and I just want her to be able to vacation at her own freedom. Like, my mom loves to travel. So I just want her to be able to do it without
Get out
worrying about
and
the money. Yeah.
go. So financial freedom, just, you know, get up and go. Awesome, awesome. And your name?
Elaine.
Hey, Elaine.
Very happy to meet you.
You
I'm very
as well.
happy to join the team. Yeah, she's
Welcome.
pretty new, yes. 2 weeks, right? It's been about 2 weeks that you started?
Amazing. Oh, welcome.
Yeah, okay, I felt a little emotional when you said close your eyes and think of somebody, and first person that came to my mind was my daughter, my oldest daughter. Right. Okay, it's I wrote my children. I want financial security for them. And I see this as a way to get to there. I've been my parents. They've been here for 40 years.
Okay.
And they haven't had a chance to get a house. And I would love to
Help them do that, right? Because they've been working towards that.
Yeah.
And that's hard. No, it's hard to see because you emotional
My dad loves fishing. And I told him before even all this, I want to get my dad a home.
Oh. But you can enjoy, you watch them work really hard. I think that's the hardest. One thing is they just go to sleep and they lay around. But you watch them.
He helps me. Right now it's with my big kids.
Okay.
The other kid is with my oldest. The one that came my house first. She's 20.
Okay.
I'm a grandma. She has and I want her also to get involved in this, and I want her success in this too. And a house plan, and a fort, and a house for us.
Yeah. So just having that security, like you said, that's so hard. You want to be able to say, I have what I was working towards. And that's where we were, because with his debt, like he had 10K in debt, the judgments, you don't get a house of judgments. You know, and it could be one thing, there was just one car. And then with me having the loans, the bank's like, you want a house? And I had my master's, and even with my master's, they're like, well, you have too much debt, we don't trust you. And it's like, but I did what I was told to do, so we do what we're told to do, but there's still these roadblocks that keep us from getting there. So that's, if I never did this business and I just worked, would I be okay? I probably would be okay. Would I be miserable? Yes. Would I ever have the things that I have now? No. Because you just go back to work the next day for the same amount of money, and the same bills are there, and the same struggles, and so that identifies with me a lot. So thank you for sharing. Go ahead. What's your name?
Alfredo.
Alfredo, nice to meet you.
Basically, the same thing we talk about all the time, getting a house for our kids as well. Be debt free. That's well.
That's free.
And my biggest one also is I want to quit my job.
Yay!
18 years, the same thing.
What do you do now?
I work on everything.
not a passion. You don't want to do it forever. No.
So, yeah, it's a grind to go there.
I work at the same place as FedEx, and I told them, I don't know, before we got into it, we need to do something, we need to do something, we need to do something. I've been there for 10 years, and with the cost of living going up, and all that, and everything I see is stays the same.
Yeah.
If you do the math, everything is the same.
So you're not moving
I'm
ahead.
not moving, I'm not,
Yeah.
exactly, and I told them, we have to do something, we have to do something. We're gonna work on this.
I love it. Well, we're excited to help you. That's our goal. Like, because we would have been there. I would have just stayed the state government and being underpaid and cost of living would have kept going up and we would have just been stuck. Grateful to have a job, but where do we go from here? So it's exciting. So welcome, guys. And your name?
I'm Johnny.
Hi.
I thought about my son. I mostly like started what she started like a good life, a good neighborhood, somewhere to be raised nice. I want him to travel. I want him to do the things I wasn't able to do when I was younger. I also thought about my mom. I want to buy her a house. I want her. She loves traveling. She's always, when she has the chance, she travels. I want to be able to go with her. I never really been able to travel with her. That's what
Awesome. So a lot of the same things, right? Like we kind of all have the same goals, but the great thing about what you guys wrote down for them is what you also wish for yourself. That's the coolest part about this. So when that's what you see in someone else, so look at your list, and this is what you want too. Because most of you guys mentioned, give me a house and a house. We all want a house. But the things that you wrote down, whether it be like freedom to be yourself, you know, if you want that for your kids, I mean, you don't feel like you have the freedom to be yourself. But now you can create that. You get to do what you love and still make the money. And then, of course, you know, you mentioned for your parents, like, you are a fancy girl. Okay? You know that, right? So when you thought about what you want for your parents, you know, you want them to have nicer things because you appreciate that. And that comes from a place that when you don't have, you're like, I'm going to get, you know? So everything you guys mentioned, so keep that to the core. And remember that when days get tough or when, you know, you aren't feeling it up to par some other days, there are some tough days in our business, right? But when you remember this, not just for what your goals are for other people, but like, what are your goals for yourself? And this is the core. What we mentioned here, I think you guys all put things down here that you can't really get from your job. That's the other piece. Like you guys can work, and you'll stay afloat. Maybe I was thinking, but the things that you guys get here come from being your own entrepreneur and owning your own business and being able to write your own checks. So I love that. So the next thing I want you guys to do is kind of like a 2-pager, right? And this will be a quicker activity for us. That way you guys can get a feel for what you want your dream life to look like. So I think the biggest thing with this is believing that we're worth it. So we all know people, like I did before, I never thought that I was worth having this kind of life. I thought that I just go to a desk and work there. But the biggest piece of you guys achieving the life you want is really believing that you deserve it and being able to visualize what it means. So this has the list of all the areas of your life. I want you guys to do a life circle with these things, right? Divide it into slices based on the areas that you chose above. So you're going to first circle the areas here that mean most to you, okay? And then once you circle that, you're going to divide it into what time it takes up in your life right now. So, and then we're going to go from there. That's the first step. So circle what's most important here. And then we're going to put it into a pie chart as to how much time do you have for it now. So big size, actually this is what your dream life looks like. I'm sorry. So what you want your life to look like when it's perfect. Sorry about that.
Yeah. And then I guess it's more important to do bigger size.
Okay, wait, okay.
Sorry, I'll
What
show
do
you.
you circle what's the priority, what I like most?
Yeah, what you like most here, and you're gonna turn this into a chart.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Just one or more than one?
Actually, all of the ones that are most important to you. And as you guys are kind of finishing up, the last thing is going to be to put either a smiley face, a so-so face, or a bad or sad face, based on how you feel about where you are in comparison to where you want to be. So this, the friendships, and that's a big piece of what you guys chose. And you're doing a really good job, hanging out with your friends. Like, my friends are in business with me, so I like that part of my life. Not all of them, and we're going to go into that kind of stuff later, but so you feel really good about the time you spend with your friends in comparison to like how much time in your dream life you spend with them, then you put a happy face. But if you are, family, children, grandchildren, parents, and you want more time with them, but your job prevents you from that, then that would be kind of sad, right? Because you're not really in alignment with where you want to be. So just that way you guys can really get, this is just so important to me. Because we sometimes are just working in life without a direction. We're just moving. And this lets us see exactly what the vision is, what we want. When you know what you want and you leave tonight like, you know what, I do want this, I deserve this, and I don't have this. I'm going to change this. That's what I want you guys to be able to walk out with tonight. So you guys kind of get on that? Okay. So the last thing that we're going to do is we're going to create a new vision, right? So creating a new vision means that you are going to tell a new story for your life. We all have been through some stuff, right? Like life does some things to you if you let it. So we have had a vision of our life prior to now that we may agree with, we may not agree with. That's okay. We get to change our story today. We don't have to accept where things were. So we're going to change your language. Like I said before, the business is 90% belief. So if you believe that you can change your story from here, you will. So what I want you guys to do is cross out language that you've been using that you want to stop using, right? So if you, like earlier today, I was like, gosh, I'm tired. And I was on the phone with them and I was like, but you know what? The life that I live, this is my passion. And even if I was tired and I wanted to stop, I can't. So let me change that to I have a mission. Like it doesn't matter if I'm tired. Like I have work to do. There's people to meet. I could have been asleep. But you guys were here, So that means that I get up and I'm going to be energized enough to serve you guys tonight, right? So cross out the language you want to stop using and circle the words and ideas you want to use more often. And if you want to add your own in there, add your own in there. But the only way you're going to change your life and change your business is to use positive words. Speak to yourself ourselves kindly. You know, I think we're our biggest critics, right? And sometimes what we do is we talk down ourselves. I can't do it. It's too hard. I'm too tired. My kids need too much. I hate my flaws, or I'm so stressed out, I'm behind, right? Like we talk to ourselves in these manners that hurt us. And then we actually cost ourselves productivity and time because we have talked down ourselves so much because we aren't where we want to be, and now we're further from it. Than if we just woke up and said, you know what, I started again today. You know what, I'm going to get to my goal. It doesn't matter if I didn't do what I wanted to yesterday, I'm going to get it done today. So that self-talk, that self-love, the self-love, when you love yourself a little bit more, you're going to inspire those you meet to love themselves a little bit more too. That's our business. Our business helps men and women love their bodies a little bit more, and do the business love themselves a little bit more, provide themselves opportunities. So I love it.
We continue with this page as well.
Yeah, we'll go from page, I don't know, the page 7. And you guys can kind of finish up there too. But I love this quote on the back because this is so true. We get to design our lives, and I think sometimes that we just get caught up in every day to the point where we forget that. Like we get to choose. So I love this quote. It says, with every experience, you alone are painting your own canvas, thought by thought, choice by choice. So you get to determine your life from here. You get to determine if you're going to be successful, if you're going to meet the goals you guys wrote down for your family, for yourself. You alone are responsible for that. So each thought that you have, which starts with this, right? You know, when we change the way we think, plays a really big role. And then when we also change our actions, you know, the choices that we make from day to day, that really plays a role in what our lives are going to look like in a year from now, in 3 years from now. I can't envision being my coworker. So I'm going to go into like some friendship stuff before I go into some other things. But I started my business with a coworker who had that same rap party, right? And that coworker, she started the business, and I'm not sure what happened. I was determined. Again, I saw an opportunity, and I knew that if I worked it would work. I saw someone else do it. I read some stories actually saw some YouTube videos. People are doing this. People with worse challenges than me are making more money than me. But she decided that like I don't want to share my results. I don't want to see my stomach. I don't want to, share this with my hairstylist and do a party there. Like I don't know them like that. And her best friend was doing this. Her best friend actually got married in Jamaica, and because her husband's family's from there. But they came home and they spent so much on their wedding, they weren't able to live together. So they actually were living in their parents' houses respectively because they spent so much on the wedding, they didn't have the money to pay for a house. So, both of them together, I'm like, you guys have the same chance that I do. Like, let's do this. Like, we can change our lives. And they were like, no, I just don't feel like adding strangers on Instagram is weird. And I don't want to talk to my sorority sisters. Like, it's drama. And they just had all of these reasons, right? Excuses at the core, but reasons why they felt like they didn't want to share their business. And because they never took ownership of their business never took off. And it was just, to me, like I couldn't imagine being there, because they actually quit 2 months in the business. So for me to be here and them to quit and they still are living the same life. They didn't make the sacrifice. We started the same week. So it's not like anything, and I was helping them. I'm giving them wrap appointments, and my coworker's like, well, I need advance notice to wrap before any time. People can call my phone at any time, I'll wrap them, but that was their mindset. They were determined to be the same person. And that's the biggest thing that I want to warn you guys against, is making sure that you're not so determined to stay the same that you don't give this a full chance. You're not going to get to be the same people you are tonight when you go down, or when you go triple, or when you go ambassador. I'm still evolving, right? So you guys know that. You're not the same Lily.
I'm really not. I'm really not.
And the changes that you made were tough. The people, friendships and things, the sacrifice that you guys, Stephanie is definitely not the same Stephanie.
No, you're really not. She's more positive and more, I think you could tell me how I am differently, but you're more positive. You're more of a people person than you were before, and you've become a really good leader. I'm very proud of you.
You have come a long way.
You really have.
But that's the inspiration, right? Because you could have chosen and put your foot down and say, no, I don't want to change. I want to be the same. I want the same friends and the same attitude of life that's all I ever had. And I want the same, schedule where I can go home and watch Love and Hip Hop or Empire or whatever. Like, we've sacrificed so much. But when you look at the reward, not even just financially, but just as people, you guys shine, right? And that's just a choice. So for you guys to get there, again, hopefully this exercise helps you see why, but you will have to come out of your comfort zone, and you won't stay the same. Even you, like, he was a salesman before this, and he wasn't able to stay the same salesman to do this business. And for me, like, the people who do my business and know me prior to, like, well, if you can do this, you were shy and quiet, and, I'm a talkative introvert. At the core, I like being quiet. It's really fun for me. But, I have a passion for training people. I've always loved helping people. So to be able to do this and help, like, we have over, I think, 17 people who are home full time now, including him. That's incredible. And if I stayed the same, I wouldn't have opened that door. You guys are nuts, right? So,
Me?
me.
Well, no, I quit my job in May. There's nobody here that's gonna hear in summer job, right, Linda? Okay, I quit in May. What do you work? With Linda?
She works at the same law firm as I
That's like to make sure nobody hears that, because my boss didn't know yet.
No, he won't hear it.
That's so exciting.
Wow. So be able to say that? It's really good. It's like how he said, it's scary because like you're so used to routine. So yeah, it's scary, but I mean you gotta take chances in life. So.
Yeah, and honestly, when we did it, like this gut feeling like I can't fail. That's what happened. So like I literally work every day as if if I don't work today, my business is gonna collapse tomorrow. I know it's not true, but literally every day I wake up as early as 3 a.m. And I go back and it's crazy. It's this sense of urgency. I wake up like I gotta go to work. And I wake up and I bought an Android phone. I have 2 phones. We both have 2 phones now. So I'll actually schedule messages at 3 a.m. so I'm not being a creep, but then people can still get the messages in the morning. And, I go through because it's not that I have to, but it's a passion, of course, right? And it's also a way of me just having the urgency, like, we just bought a house, and we're not going to fail at this. Like, and if we did, people are still rapping, people are still becoming distributors, so I don't get in on that. That's my choice. Someone else is going to take them. So that is I support that. So did y'all enjoy this? Was this helpful? Yeah?
Yes, and I have people that have questions on the chat, so I'm trying to keep track of that.
Okay, no, please do.
Did everybody do this, the chat with this little?
No.
And I had to get a PDF file version for it. I literally went to, it's a booklet we got from Oprah, so I took it to Home Depot and actually Office Depot said, they need copies. So that's as far as we've gotten. So I'll be like,
So everybody who's tuning in should also do this because, like you said, some people get discouraged for whatever reason, and then they start lacking their business, and then they don't remember why it started in the first place.
yeah.
So this is very helpful.
Yeah, this is really good. Well, the first question is advice on bringing in distributors. What advice can you provide for bringing in distributors?
Okay, I'm not sure what to say.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, guys, you're a guy, so like when we talk to guy distributors, I mean, he can be a prime example. Like some people are like, I'm a guy, I'm a dude. How am I supposed to rap girls? I've got a girlfriend. Like, how about she doesn't want me to check out girls' stomach or whatever it is? Like, I don't know. I think it's a little bit more difficult for a man to be in the business. Not that I do not promote it. I mean, I wish our team to be full of men, but I know it may be a little difficult. So, like, how do you? Yeah, like how do you get around these? Yeah.
All right. So first thing is when you talk to guys, you have to talk about money. See, you have to do a little bit different, right? So the first answer to your question is when, like, if I'm talking to like a lady about it, I'm telling a story, right? Like that resonates. When I talk to guys, it ain't about the story. It's not about the story. It's not about the product. It's just about the money. Like, look, this is what we do. This is what we do. Right? Yeah, that's it. Like, you can cut all the fluff out of it and just get right to the steak. Like, this is what it is, right? Now, as far as like, dude, like this trips me out, right? So I don't understand how some guys are like scared to rap women, right? Because from the time we wake up to the time we go to sleep, women is always on our mind, whether we're in a relationship or not, right? Like we're just genetically built that way. You know what I mean? Like the same thing goes for y'all. Like when you guys wake up, when you guys go to sleep, what you wear, how you present yourself, how you speak, all of that is to attract opposites sex, whether you get married, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever the case may be. So why would you not want, like, why would I not want to do rap when like I get to just hang around women? Like there's a house full of women and I'm
And
hanging
it's
with
legal,
them.
he doesn't get cut.
You know what I mean? Like, why would I not want it? You know what I mean? Like, they're paying me money to hang around women and to help solve a problem. So when you treat your business like a business, it's not really a factor, right? My business is part of my business is raps, right? So if I have to rap you, like Pam said, lift your shirt, drop drugs a little bit, let's put this rap on. It's not weird because this is what my business is, right? If you're like I told this story the other day. When I did telecommunications sales, I did cable sales. Yeah, conference, right? I don't know, I'll teach it. But like, all right. Yeah, phone call. But like, I used to make my living going around, knocking doors, doing neighborhoods, and convincing you to take Comcast and Verizon or whatever competitive you guys have down here. And part of the sale is getting your social, right? Like I can't just, like you could just tell me your name is like John Abraham. You know what I mean? Like I have to get your name and your social date of birth to make sure that it's you, make sure no one's trying to like, set things up and name is not you. I got people's social phones. You know what I mean? So like if I came and I was like, oh really, I can get you this service from, then you're gonna tell me no. I say, look, this is part of it. You get your social business, so you give it to me, right? The same thing happens with men rapping with women. It's just part of the business. Like I haven't been in a situation. Like I've been doing this too. I haven't been in a situation where like, I was uncomfortable. Like someone came near to me and got inappropriate. Like it's just regular. It's just business. You know what I mean? So there's nothing about it. You know what I mean? It's just, it is what it is. You know what I mean? So that's what I would say. And then the other thing is like, man in your house. If you meet with somebody with this, like, bring her with you. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to separate your kids or your spouse out of your business. Incorporate them into your business. You know what I mean? Like, I'm here because I'm incorporated into this. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm gonna go into that to piggyback off of that because some of you guys probably have, well, you're here, so applause to you, right? Awesome, but a lot of guys are like not really a part of it. And the biggest way that before he even joined, I made sure that he knew this was our business, right? So, you know, I would ask him advice on trainings or what he thought about this green people cause, or, you know, I found ways to make sure he knew that this wasn't my business. Go away. I'm like, you know, it wasn't a mind thing. It was you know, this is our business. Like, you want to come to a party? Like, even though he wasn't going to be, even if he said no, I still wanted him to know that, like, he wasn't excluded from what I was doing. So when he got in, he felt comfortable because he felt like even though men didn't have a big place here yet, I kind of made a place for him. He felt comfortable here. So that integration really helped to get in the beginning. And then when people ask again, just about like the kids and stuff, too, some of you guys have kids, like, well, do I have to get a babysitter every time I do a party? No, bring them with you. Okay, so when you're training next time, your kids are welcome. You brought your kid, good job. Don't feel like you have to, because that means that you have to make time you don't have, right? To create that, and that's not going to happen in a realistic world. Like, your businesses are going to be part-time when you first start. So to separate kid time and husband time and work time and eat time and sleep time and work time, it is going to be a challenge. So find a way to incorporate it all. So for me, each time is included in grocery time. So if you have kids, the kids are with you. You have your lanyard on. You can share the business while you're grocery shopping. It's not creating new time. It's simply integrating it into your business or into your life. You know, when I would go on lunch breaks, I needed chicken. I don't know why, but I would go and get chicken. My lanyard's on. And I would take cards and leave them at the cash register. So wherever I was, I made sure that I made it part of this. So it wasn't like, I can't work today. No, I'm going to go somewhere, right? I'm going to do something. I'm going to speak to someone. Let me at least have my It Works shirt on. Let me have my lanyard on. Let me not feel like I have to create, you know, 10 hours out of my day that don't exist because then you never do it. So that's that part. So to go back into my coworkers who did it with me, when I got to like double-ish, she just stopped speaking to me. We went from happy hours and lunch breaks and Papa John pizzas the day after the, you know, team ones. We have, all of y'all had that too, but Papa John's will give you a 50% off coupon after your home team win. Okay, we get pizza. She didn't want pizza with me no more. That's crazy. So you are going to eat. I still have friends that never rest, okay? I still have family members that will drive past my house to D&C. So you guys are going to get people who are just blatantly not going to support you. And you're going to go through lots of different changes. You're going to go through a lot of no's, right? People are going to tell you no. I'm going to give y'all some stories with his house. Because we just, of course, it's aha moments. And like, a girl just contacted me yesterday to become a distributor because she got listed in the mall. And she told the girl no and didn't get the information for that girl. And the girl went home and thought about it for weeks. And then she didn't have the info for that girl anymore. The girl didn't follow up with her. And then she's like, well, I found you. I'll be your distributor. Hey, somebody could just follow back up with you and let you say no again. And it wouldn't have hurt them any, but they would have had a distributor now. So that's just knowing that, like, you're going to go through phases. So I'm going to go through it with you guys, of course, like what my projectile looks like because everyone envisions. No. But when everything happens in your business, I guess we take it personally, right? We're like, this person told me no. They told me no. Don't talk to me like that. So our feelings get hurt. But there's this thing. So I'm gonna do a poll with you guys. So you guys heard the rep at one point in time or another, right? I want you to raise your hand if you bought the wrap within a day of hearing about it. The first time you ever heard of it. No.
None. Yeah.
Kind of? Okay.
I mean, I became a little customer before becoming a distributor.
Well, when you first saw the rest for the first time, did you become a customer the same day?
Not the same day, like the same month. I did,
Same month, okay.
yeah, like I did the research, Google, find out who's selling them, why they're selling them, what they have.
So you were a
Well,
month
I
in between with. So I'm gonna have you raise your hand for me in a second,
Oh,
right? So if you sign up to become either just a one rep customer, a loyal customer distributor in your first week of hearing about it, I want you to raise your hand. Okay, so we got one right there, right?
Well, it was, no, not when I heard about it. It took me a
No,
while.
it took you a while, right?
Because I finished my little customer program for you.
Right.
That's interesting.
And that's when I found you on Instagram and I called you.
Interesting. Okay. So let's do the first month. If you did it within your first month of hearing about it, right? So you saw it somewhere, you did some research, looked it up, so you saw it, you were exposed to it, but you didn't say yes that same day.
I knew about it for a year. My friend Tawana told me, and I was still in Mary Kay, and I was like, no, I don't want to do anything. Then I kept seeing you on my Instagram page, and then
Mary Kay woman.
yeah, smart. And then Stephanie was telling me it works, and I was like, I'm thinking about maybe joining up a business, and that's when I spoke to you.
So it took a year though, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
To do the whole process.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna go. So I'm gonna go through and let's do your first 90 days of hearing about it. Who took 90 days, the first time you ever heard or saw it, to say yes?
90, I took a long time.
Okay, now
You just joined 2 weeks ago, and I met you at the gas station in October.
October, right?
so it took you over 6 months?
5.
Okay, so between 90 days and 6 months, raise your hand. That will be you guys,
It
right?
would be us. It would be
It will
us.
be you
And
guys.
my daughter told me, even.
You
Oh, that's right. You know what's crazy?
My
Her daughter was following me.
My daughter was following her.
It was what a small world, and then I met her at the gas station. When I met her daughter, she's like, I've been following you all this whole time. I'm like, that's crazy.
It's so cute.
My daughter told me, and I forgot about it. I forgot what my daughter
She showed you my results and stuff
And
like that.
then, yeah.
Was it at the gas station day?
No,
on the
another
gas
day.
station day, I was in with him, and we left my son in therapy, and he wanted something to drink. And I said, okay, let's go because his therapy is for sometimes it's an hour. He stays in therapy for an hour or sometimes an hour and a half.
Okay.
And we go on.
Some refreshments.
Yes. and I showed she parked next to us.
And I had a decal on my car.
And I
She approached me.
Yes,
That's pretty cool.
and it's because I wanted to lose weight. I said, okay, let me see, let me talk. I went,
I'm gonna ask you some
He
questions.
came out before her, and he starts the car. No, wait. I gotta see the door from the car.
And I was actually, what's funny about that is I was on the phone with a brand new distributor I had just signed up. I had just signed up a distributor, and I was like, hold on a second. Okay, how can I help you? Here's my business card.
So your decal did it. So you
Yeah.
saw the decal,
Yeah.
you was going, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got beat at I-95, like, I might next to you to the side. So decals do help.
Yeah, decals do.
And they're not expensive on the
We
store.
are less than $20.
That's $20 for each side. Yes, I'm
And then she even talked to me about it, and then it took me about 6.
What happened with her was I was telling about the loyal customer program and the distributor program wasn't a good time. It was around the holidays and stuff like that.
Around the holidays, yes.
And then I told her, would you feel more comfortable if I wrap you and you can try the wrap first and see if that's something you're interested in? She said yes. I stayed late at the office. She actually came to the conference room. We did it there.
Cool.
And she loved it. And then the next day or the next week, her husband said, do it. Joint sign of the business.
I saw the change, and I put a video also made.
So it took a process,
Yes,
but it worked.
Right.
So you being consistent was awesome, right?
I've been consistent. That's the thing. Consistency is key.
Yeah.
I tell my team all the time, consistency is
Because you
key.
been someone else's distributor.
Because I could have lost her. I could have just said,
Yeah.
you know what, I'm going to give up and not call her anymore, and then I would have lost her. But I stayed consistent with her.
That's why she's here. So,
Until they tell me no.
yeah, they say no, never call again. Fair enough, but I'm gonna go with this.
Right.
Thank
I was
you.
interested.
And there was times that she would ignore me. Sometimes there was times like she couldn't get back to me, and I was like, okay, I'll wait. I will text her next month, in 2 weeks, whatever it is, and I stay consistent with it.
Yes, because of how busy our life is.
Yeah.
And I kept saying, oh no, I don't have time. I was like, I don't have time.
The other side of we've done that with marketing.
And then with
We've been dealing with other companies as well.
Amway, Hurricane,
Okay.
but
And you did
$1,000.
Amway, right?
He did Amway.
He did
I
Amway.
did good at that. I'm not gonna say that, I did really well. But I was by myself, so at that time I did. So it's difficult when you're single, believe it or not.
Yeah.
And you're doing something else, you start growing, hey, you know what? You start seeing everybody with partners, you're like, all right, man, something's up. You know, like, so it was difficult. My upline had a problem in Brazil, believe it or not. And we lost everybody. He got in trouble because in Brazil, he wasn't paying taxes.
Okay.
And he was recruiting people. They have a strict rule over there. If you're bringing an American business over there, you have to pay a certain amount of taxes, and he didn't know. So it basically, everything fell apart.
Wow.
So she happened to show up with this, and when I'm looking at it, I'm like, man, this works. And I went online because after the research, I was
Got to Google it.
and afterwards, you know what, sign up, this is a good business, let's do it. And for her especially, because I know how her work is, I want her to be able to lead. I said, once you can go, you know what, quit.
Yes, and that would be amazing for you guys to do it full time.
Everything that has to do with beauty, health and beauty, wellness, I'm really doing.
And everyone is too.
I'm
That's the
losing
crazy
weight.
thing.
I'm losing weight.
I know, I'm so proud of you.
That's amazing. So y'all will be fantastic because y'all got the background, right? And if you love health and wellness, you can combine it into a business that you care about. So when you do something you don't really care about, it's like, yeah, I'm business.
Yeah.
But when you see it work, you can help women and men that are like, yeah, it's hot out now, right? Well, it's always hot here. People are like, I want to go to the beach. Like, spring break is this weekend, right? So people are like, they want to look good. So there's just so many different opportunities. So it's amazing. What the heck, y'all?
All right.
So did anyone take us to a year? To the year?
I started following her when I was pregnant. I don't know if I followed you or you followed me, I'm not sure. And then I had my son last year in May, and I didn't text her until last year in December. And I was following her way before I had him. And then even when I talked to her in December, I didn't sign up until like February. I think I was just like, one day I was like, fuck it, I'm just leave it distributor.
Yeah. So it took you a year,
Yeah.
right? How long did it take you?
Probably a year also. I mean, because I saw somebody on Instagram, but my friend was having a party. And
Here, actually.
well, yeah, my friend had a party here, and I was like, oh, you know, I've been seeing somebody on Instagram, you know, I want to come to that party. She's like, why? You're skinny. And I'm like, well, just because I'm skinny doesn't mean I'm not interested. So, you know, but I mean, like, she didn't even tell me about it. Like, she kind of told me about it on the day of, oh, you know, I'm having a rap party, but I didn't think you'd be interested. And I'm like, those rappers are on Instagram? She's like, yeah. I'm like, well, I want to come. So I really wasn't invited.
I see. You made your way in. Good for you, yeah.
Yeah.
She's been a really good distributor ever since. She signed up that same day.
I signed up the same day.
And did your thing, and that's, you'll prejudge, right? She prejudged you.
Right.
That's
She
terrible.
goes to every conference, she goes to the
Yeah, she has
one
not missed a
mission.
conference. She's gone to everything.
And it makes a big difference,
She went to the
right?
one team one mission and she met Pam.
So they help grow your business. That's why she's so successful. Probably she plugged in.
Mm-hmm.
She plugged in. For me, it took 2 years. From when I first heard
That's
of
right,
it.
you told me.
Yep. I first heard of it in 2010. And a lady had a rap party, and I Googled it with the Google reviews, and then watched the clock at 4 o'clock at her rap party time. Look at her party. So that the moral of that story is that you all had different times when you joined, but the product was never bad, the business was never bad, you just weren't ready. So when you share the opportunity with people and they don't sign up right away, please don't go run into a closet, okay? If everything's okay, it just means that they're on their course of being ready. So when you're consistent both with your own personal social media, your own approach, your follow-up, they'll come around. But you can't make them sign up when you want them to. They'll contact you and run high like we all did. What's that? Oh, okay. And then we go run away until we're ready. So when that happens, don't allow that to dampen your self-esteem or your opinion of your business. It just means that they're gonna come across their time if you are consistent.
Okay, another question is, okay, go ahead. No problem. Time management. Somebody on the team is pretty new, was asking, they need some help with time management. If you can share some time management, how many hours a day you think would be feasible to be successful in this business?
Okay, I'll let you take that, because you just answered it earlier. See you, bye.
As far as time management goes, you always can make time, right? So I always like relating business back to dating, right? So let me pick on you, right? In your single days, right? If you met a dude at a gas station or at school or whatever the case may be, and like you gave him your number and he's texting you and he's like, hey Lily, I want to come and hang out. And you're like, oh, sorry, it's really busy. And you're sitting on the couch and you're watching TV, right? You're not doing anything. You could go out and hang out with this person. You got to go out to dinner or something like that, but you said that you were busy because you didn't want to make the time for it, right? The same thing goes with business, right? You all have the time to work for business, right? So you just have to you have to juggle things, right? So maybe when you're driving into work, you can be responding to text messages while you're sitting in traffic. Maybe while the commercial.
Make phone calls to the speaker.
I'm sorry.
I did that on the way home from work.
Maybe in between when you're cooking food or picking the kids up from school, you take 5-10 minutes of that time to do this, I don't know, post a picture, whatever the case may be. You have those minutes and those hours and those seconds in your schedule. Just be committed to utilizing it. You know what I mean? Like it's all there. So time management is not really an issue. It's more or less like a want to. Like you gotta want to do it. If you want to do it, then you'll make it happen. If you don't, then you'll just find every convenient excuse not to do it.
It's like what you guys learned today. Like, you see what your dreams are. And if you believe you can do it and you believe that this business will help you get there, you'll find the time. It's fun. Business should be fun for you guys too, right? If it's fun for y'all, so you do it more. Make it fun.
And we get to be social. We make basically instant money. We get to help people. We get to make
You're opening new doors. I mean, you guys are coming to Miami. If you didn't know us, you probably wouldn't be here. You'd probably be in the snow.
You don't have to do something you don't like. Like you're not cleaning up dog food. You know what I mean? Like it's cool. Like you know what I mean?
Right. And that will go back to the distributor question. How do you get people to become distributors? Having fun and being consistent. You guys, you all had jobs you hate and probably still do. You do that for the money. No one's gonna want to join this business because it makes you money, because you're doing it already, doing something you don't love. If you love this and you make money doing that, that's so different than what most people experience, right? So I'm here because it's fun. If I wasn't having fun, I'd be gone a long time ago. I love what I do. I love every moment of it. So that people being able to see that when they meet me and see that when they follow me on social media, that's how they become distributors, because you're showing them that you can provide them something different than just them clocking in for extra overtime at their job.
Okay, another one was, how do you get people on the phone?
On the phone, okay. So we'll go through that, right? See, I see it again.
Thank you for calling.
Of course. So to do like the on the phone thing, for customers, that like for me, I can interview them through text message. I don't mind doing that. So if everyone asks me for like, I want to back to rent. My answer is always, well, it depends on your needs. Like, tell me more about you. And I'll say, well, is your goal weight loss or is it just toning up? 9 times out of 10, it's going to be weight loss. Most folks think the rest change your weight. So I'll ask that and I'll say, well, I really want to, lose 20 pounds or 50 pounds. Cool, okay, awesome. Well, tell me the hardest part about losing weight so far for you. What's been the toughest piece? And they'll say, it's been cravings, it's been my schedule, I have a new baby, there's so many things going on. So they'll give me that, and that way I can help refer them to the right product. Whether it be thermofit and fat fighters for weight loss, or the greens to detoxers, the regular to detoxers. So I kind of walk them through that, find out where they are, because I don't want to just sell people stuff that they don't need, right? So I go through that first, and then when they say, well, how do I get it? And never, ever, 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 ever get my husband.
Yeah.
And if you give the website, you won't ever do them on the phone, and you won't ever close that sale on your own time. Because what do we do when we have websites? We go when we feel like it. And at that point, the sense of urgency is gone. The site's open 24 hours. So I don't need you ladies. I don't need you guys. I can just go online in 6 months, and then it doesn't mean anything to them. That conversation is now done because you put the ball in their court.
What about if somebody says, I want to look at your website to see the products that you have and the ingredients that you have and stuff
Well,
like
what
that?
happens when I interview them, then I'm the expert, right? So now they don't want to do that because they told me their needs, and I refer the best thing to them. Let me give you an example, right? We had someone come in to measure our window sublime, and she brought the 4 suitcases worth of stuff. And I said, and I already knew it was going to go bad for me because I have ADHD. I don't want to look at all of your suitcases and stuff. I don't want to do any of this. So she pulls out stuff. She's like, what do you guys want? You want this? You want this? You want this? You want this? And I'm like, I want you. So what she could have made that process a lot faster if she did one or two things, but she eventually did. Tell me what's popular. What does everyone else want? We like that, right? Like if you go into a shoe store and you're like, I'm looking for some sandals for the beach. Well, most people are coming in and buying these types. You're like, well, those are cute. Yes, put them in the cart. Yes. That saves you so much mental time. You don't want to have to think about all of that stuff. So as a consultant, first I let you know that I care about you. I care about your needs. I'm not just going to sell you anything. And I'm actually referring things based off of your goals. You're not going to question what else is out there because you told me what's going to work best for me. So very few people say, wait, stop, I got to see what else, because they're like, well, you know, and you show that you cared, and you show that, like, this is going to help me with my goals. So most folks are just like, okay, I got that question more when I was just doing the rap stuff more, or not having that full conversation. People were just like, well, I might want some other stuff too. But if I ask them, like, do you have skincare goals? Do you have stretch marks inside your life? When I ask the questions, then they can trust that, like, I covered it for them. So if you get that, people are getting that. But see, if you switch it up and you still get it, then we can see if we can tweak. But I haven't gotten as much lately with that change in my business.
Okay. How do you book in-person appointments?
In-person appointments for me, I like to have a red party every month. That's been my goal as of recently. So we did One Team on Mission this month. We did the Valentine's Day party the month before that. I forgot what we did in January, but it was something. So when I blitz, it's easier for me to blitz with the party. So I can say, hey guys, like, excuse me, I'm having a party. I wanted to give you guys a coupon to redeem at my party. And they're like, oh, okay, what is it?
I like that.
And that means that I'm not just, giving you a blitz card and talking about it. It's like, I want you to come to my party. And I want you to save some money when you come. That sounds like fun to me. So that helps me, in a sense, book in-person stuff, right? Because now they're going to all come to one place. And I can close them a lot easier because it's an exciting environment. Our distributor will be there. They'll see people are doing this and not the only one. It's just all these psychological things that people close at a party. But if I'm not doing that, I'll introduce the product to them, as usual. And sometimes I won't carry blitz cards on purpose because then I'll ask, like, I'll have my layer and say, well, I'm out of blitz cards. Like earlier today, actually the hostess lady was like, what do you guys do? And I'm like, well, I'm out of coupons, but if you write your number down, I can text you a coupon. And then I'm like, well, if you're not busy later, oh, I'd love to meet with you and we can just kind of go over like how everything works. So I'll offer myself, if I'm out blitzing, clearly I got some time. And if it's late, I'll say, you come tomorrow. So I offer myself, like, it's ASAP. And I say, well, no, I'm not free tomorrow. Well, let me, like, what day works best for you? Like, I have, blah, blah, blah. So I kind of run into something like that. That way, because the goal, I never want to leave them and not know I'm going to see them again if they're really interested. It takes about, is it 7 exposures, 9 exposures? 7 to 9 exposures for a person to say yes. That's kind of what we illustrated here. People are going to hear about it the first time, and people say no to what they don't understand. So you just show it to them, and that's it. That's just one exposure. They've never heard of it, but they're interested. They're not going to be ready to close right then. So for me, like, in person is a couple exposures, right? Because they get to see the product, they get to smell it, they get to wear it, they get to see their own results, so they can learn more about it. It's just this in-person that's really important, and the party makes it times 10 because now everyone that you see the party's getting results too, and then everyone's excited, and people do things off of emotion. They feel good and they look good and they're excited. They'll make decisions, but they just kind of feel regular and bland. They'll do it later.
Okay, people in the chat were also saying that basically because people were texting questions, that they know that you have really good results with Instagram. So, for example, how many loyal customers and distributors do you get on Instagram, and what is it that you do to do that? Because I know they need to spend more time on Instagram, so I want to.
Yeah, first I saw that comment from Mark Campos. I'm like, Linda, do you see that?
That's crazy. Congratulations.
She's like, what? And we're in the office, and I'm like screaming like a crazy lady. They're like, cold red, there's a client, cold red. And I'm like, no. So, I mean, obviously we're a top 5 earner, which kudos to you.
Yeah, congratulations. That's awesome.
So to answer that, I guess recently and overall, Instagram is 95% of my business, period. It's cold. I'm out of the house. It's awesome. So Instagram made me top 5 distributor enrollers last week. It made me top 5 loyal customer enrollers last month. So I got to bring it back for that. And that's awesome. So and then that's just short term, right? Instagram has made me a multiple 6-figure earner. And same with him. We retired from Instagram. Like, I wish I could say it in a different way. It's the bee's knees. So in terms of tips with Instagram, to me, I relate it to a Blitz card. Each time I follow someone on Instagram, it's like giving out a Blitz card. So if I can follow 300 to 500 people a day, it's bound to have some yeses, right? So what's that law of the 10% and the 90% that I get wrong each time I try?
It's the law of averages, right? So 10% of people will say yes no matter what, right? 10% of people will say no matter what. The other 80% you have to persuade, right? So, yeah, I have to imagine a little bit off. But basically, like, when you, I forget who this comes, I follow Stephanie online, whatever it can be, right? Like, you just said yes. Like, you got to follow, you had a kid, you're done having a kid, you just said yes, right? There really wasn't any, like, pivotal moment where, like, you got one over, you know what I mean? There's a person that you follow that is going to say no matter what it is. Maybe you really want to try it, maybe really need it, the answer is just no. The other 80% you have to persuade. So like when you first start your business, the first couple of people that you get, that's at 10%. You know what I mean? And then like when you get a little more skills and keep going, that's when you start cutting to that 80%. So just basically know that like no matter what you do, you'll make money. Like if you just work in business, you'll make money. Like guaranteed. Like I mean you can like write that down, you can put it in stone, you can put the date on it, I'll autograph it. If you work in business, you'll make money. It's just guaranteed. You will make money, period.
So that's the law that I get wrong. So what that means for me for Instagram is that I'm allowing that law to take action without me being personally invested in like people are saying no to you all day on Instagram. I don't know if they're doing it. Doesn't come up here. I don't hear it. And then people are saying yes all day because they're contacting me. So for me, I started off again the same thing, 300 to 500 people a day at work. So I got desk jobs. I could do it at work. I would come home, turn to burn the rice, do it through dinner. Do it at night, watching TV, do whatever, and through that, right? So again, I think I mentioned on our last call, I would follow local staples, like local boutiques and local radio stations and stuff, so that way I could get local people to get them in person. So I use it as a tool both to close customers.
I was laughing because I burned something in the kitchen because I was in
Twice.
I've never happened
Like, I
to
smell smoke. Like, what are you doing? Oh my God, I forgot what she said. The house
it gets real. It does get real. So I wish again that I could see it in a different way as to how important that is. Just based off of exposures. I can't blitz 300 to 500 people a day. Physically, y'all don't have time. I don't even have time. It's just not practical. So if you have that tool, so your phone, we're on our phones all day anyway. People on their phones too. You get access to people for free. Like I can't stress it enough. On Facebook to do that, it's gonna cost you thousands of dollars. even on Facebook to get access to strangers. But Instagram lets you just press a button. So that to me is a blessing. And then the other piece to it is going to be to be yourself, to be, again, to show that you're having fun. So between, my personal results, my selfies, my, when I first started, my small victories of buying groceries with the cash or paying a phone bill off, just being like, showing people that this is my life. I don't have to separate. I think the biggest mistake that people make is trying to have two different hats. An It Works hat and then a person hat, like whoever you were before. Merge them. You shouldn't have to have two separate pages for the fact that you want to post, get super rash and tore down some. You're a business owner now, so you don't bring it out. You're a brand now. So I just integrated everything together, and now I have a way in which people know, like, hey, when they call me, it's like they've known me for years. It's like, I know Tracy, she knows this, and she has this, and she likes pizza. People should know certain things about you, right? Because of your page. So I don't hide that piece. I'm professional because we're not professionals. We're network marketers. So we're different than that. Yes, we're having fun. So using it, again, I think the most successful people are the ones that use the product and actually share it. Like, that's cool.
I always get more people comment.
Isn't that
Just
crazy?
like today, I posted a picture of my friend that she tried to wrap, and I had like 5 people just text me today.
When it's someone you know or people are all
Every time that I
over.
post my results, I always get more people.
People are looking for, if you look on Instagram, you got hashtag rap. I want you guys to hashtag rap and look at all the pages you should not ever look like. The cute images and stuff, they hurt our brain because people are like, well, who is she?
Yeah.
Who is she?
Yeah, I always
Is she a
post,
bot?
like my life. Like,
Yeah.
I put pictures of my son, like, look, I could be with him today because, I'm kind of,
So people are looking at that. They want that. They don't want the image. They want that.
Like I was gonna piggyback on what you said about the whole hat. Like sometimes you wear an orange hat and sometimes you wear who you are. And I think after conference when we went in January, on the way back with Yoli and Lily, I was saying now that my fear is people seeing that I'm that rap girl. Because here they give you like they give you a stereotype. Yeah, you have a stereotype. So you're like, I don't want people bad mouthing my business because, like you said, I have the slightest little accomplishment of putting gas or paying my phone bill. Really got a house. I paid off my car. Little things that became big, and you're gonna bring down my business. So sometimes you can't. Not that you feel ashamed, but you're like, okay, I don't want them to see me just as that rap girl. And I think after conference when I came back, I literally let go of that fear. And I can truly say that my business has never been, from when I started till now, like, obviously the Christmas, the holidays, it was really slow, but you can ask her, like, my value goes up almost 1,000 a day.
Yeah.
So
It has been, right?
I've been getting more customers, like, between today and yesterday, I got like 4 LCs. So I'm learning to
Merge your hat.
I'm putting my lifestyle with my business, incorporating why? Because my business is my passion now, and my life is my passion. So merging that together, people are seeing that, you're going out with your friends, you're having meetings, like it's real life. It's not just a rap girl posting, just standing
Because there are
pictures.
some people who are like that, and people don't want to join those people. Because again, if you can do it for money and it doesn't look fun, I can just stay at work. But when you do that, and it's like, you get to, first of all, thank God, because you're removing people who you don't even want in your circle. If you're going to badmouth anything I'm doing, I could be a rap girl, I could be, you could be a Mary Kay, you could do anything, but they're going to badmouth you because they're not really in your corner. I would love to remove you out. Anyway, and then you open yourself up. When you allow yourself to be who you are, you give someone else permission to do the exact same thing. So people are like, wow, like, it's like Stephanie's grown. People see like people have joined me just off the simple fact that like you've grown from before you joined to now, and I want to take that journey with you. So it's immeasurable, right? And what that does, because now people are going to join you that would have never called you because they can see it like I want. It might be weird, it might be different, but I want that.
Yeah, it's something that's tough for people, but that's really important with business to kind of like accept it and just go with it. Like it's you, it's helping you, so might as well just take it.
Hey, exactly. And who's laughing at me now? At first I'd be like, why are you doing that? Like, don't do that. Like, that's weird. People gave me that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then when you start to make accomplishments, their tone changes. They're like, well, I guess I should have joined what you doing. You know, like you just get their whole tone changes. So when you give yourself permission to be yourself and to own your business, you're gonna give other folks the permission to do this. Everyone's scared. Everyone's scared of all this stuff. But when you stand out and you're confident, it does a lot.
Here's the thing about all the lives you've changed. Like just bringing me into the business. Imagine just bringing me into the business. We've been able to change so many lives. Like,
yeah, and you guys think we've been to Texas? You know, this month we're going to New York. You know,
Going back to
Puerto Rico, right?
Yeah, that's in Puerto Rico. Yeah, but we have a distributor who that's her home base, so we're gonna go there. She's gonna do a party. Like we get to just grow
And travel at the same time. Like you can meet your people as you go there.
You go,
Awesome. And then it's a write-off.
exactly. Always a write-off, man. So it's phenomenal. So just by saying yes, you're gonna give someone else permission to do the thing.
And the last question is, some people want to know if you can provide some tips. Bye, nice to see you. Some tips to go diamond. So some people are new and they really want to go to diamond fast. They know it's the peak season. They know they could get there by summer. What are some tips you can provide?
I have
And
to
how
be
to get
honest. I don't have any non-Instagram diamonds yet.
Non-Instagram diamonds, okay? So
Yeah.
everybody who's on Instagram, those are your diamonds and your movers and your shakers. You hear that, guys? Instagram is the way to go. You're hearing it from Patrice, not just me.
I mean, if I have to be honest, I don't have any that.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Why? Because you're anti-Instagram?
No, sometimes I'm like, you know, help me out. Just give me a minute. I'm like,
Yeah.
pulling my hair.
But because adding on the Instagram and then posting the pictures and then doing all that on Instagram, literally 90% of my business has come from Instagram. You know, I have blitz here and there, but how many people can you honestly say that I, blitz and have them sign up?
So you would not, even though you met her in person, Instagram was still how you guys ended up here. So
In a way, yeah, your daughter kind of encouraged you at the same time. Yeah, if you think about it.
So if she never said, nah, I know about that, you would have taken longer to that's the only piece of it for me. It's like, it just takes longer and it's okay. Like we have people who are like, I know non-Instagram diamonds, it took them like 6 or 7 years to get to where they wanted to be. Is that bad? Absolutely not. I've worked for 6 or 7 years prior to it worked and I wasn't anywhere near where I wanted to be. But when you look at the people who say, I want to go fast, then that's what I tell them because again, unless you can expose yourself otherwise to 300 people, you gotta learn how to be able to market yourself to people who aren't down the street or up the highway. For us to be able to travel like this, that just means that we have used social media to get to. I actually check my location, distributed by location. I have distributors in almost all 50 states outside of like the Montana area, like those people, because
Hey, there's programs with
I would like to have
I saw them
them.
in conference.
Oh my God, you saw that, right? You saw that.
Everybody like, if they can do it, y'all can do it.
They were that. They were like squatted up. I said, I need to get me
There was like
squatted up
programs.
I know.
One of the ladies like, one of the ladies like, you like the energy drink? I was like, yes, I do.
You should have brought some cookies. She's right. I want them. So now, like, I gotta go on Instagram and figure out they have radios or whatever I gotta do to get a hold of them. Yeah, exactly. One Pilgrim Squad, like that. Whatever they do. I also would like to give people, like, we have people, I think, like 20 distributors in Canada. Like, I've never been to Canada. I've seen it across Niagara Falls, and I've never been there. So just these guys, we're in Australia. Like, wow. I talked to a New Zealand girl and she's like really interested. So the girl there, I wish I could say that teams like this was formed if I was just trucking along with 95. It would just take a while. It would just take a while. So if you want to go fast, you need to wrap as many people as possible though. Like, and the people you can get your hands on. You have friends. You have to own your business. Like Stephanie said, you got to own your business. If you're trying to, tiptoe here and do this, you gotta go all in. People gotta know that you're the rap girl in a sense, because other than that, they'll be like, well, I'll wait.
Next one.
Yeah, exactly. So That's going all in, wrapping as many people as possible. When I went Diamond Fast, like Corey said, it was at least 2 women a night that I was wrapping. So them getting their results, they tell someone. So you told her it worked. If you never gave that
I
confirmation,
never even tried it.
exactly.
I never even tried it. I went by what you told me and what she
It was her
told me.
word. And then your daughter told you it was okay. You know, and then her friend co-signed and them having a party.
That was the first time that I heard about it was my daughter.
So your daughter.
She told me about it.
If someone told you it's okay, then it becomes okay. So when I rap people, they may not all become loyal customers right away. But when someone says, have you ever heard of that rap thing? And they say, yeah, I tried it, it worked. Someone's going to find out. So you just little things like that. So of course, blitz, rap, repeat, you know, blitzing, rap, and repeating, that's what I just covered, you know, but it gotta go, you gotta be able to be, like, my voice is still gone. I lost my voice at conference, and it's still like a frog. It's cool. I've been on the phone non-stop, you know, customers, distributors, potentials, conference calls, planning this, doing that, one team, one mission, like, we're going to corporate events ourselves. We're plugged in, which is huge. I was looking to see if there was an event coming up here soon. I don't see one right away. So y'all grow some more so I can do one here.
Yeah, for sure. I should be
we
going
have a nice
triple in the
one.
next 2 months. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
so do it and get some more people so we can fill a room up. Like,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
need that
In a hotel or
in a
something.
hotel. Yeah,
Yeah.
fancy one.
Definitely.
Like banners and stuff.
And share the, you know, how they need the 3 rubies.
Oh, okay. Okay, so Ruby comes down to your steps to success. Okay, that's getting your first 4 loyal customers, your first 3 distributors. That's the core of Ruby. So it's doing that and helping at least one of your 3 folks do the exact same thing. That's the core. It's not end all be all, but if you can do that, you got it like me done. So that's going to be your first step. So when you meet your steps to success and you talk someone else to do the same thing, you're now Ruby. Your diamond is literally just 3 rubies. So you go from ruby yourself, emerald is 2 rubies, diamond is 3 rubies, double 5. You know, so as you do that, ruby is so important, and I'm actually going to share some charts with you guys talking about that. I got a couple.
I want that It Work shirt. It's so hot.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
I want to like order it now.
That's our spring shirt. We've been shopping right now.
You ordered it already?
I follow.
You ordered it
I follow Pam I on will Instagram and
And you didn't share this with me, yo?
Uh-oh.
Oh my God.
That's why we
You know,
together.
like,
We've been shopping.
Onesies, right?
Onesies
For babies.
Yeah, baby.
That is so cute, Jackson.
Jackson, because with all my Alex money, I
Oh my
spoil
God.
my godson, my nephew so much.
Oh.
So I need to put him on some It Work.
She'll be so
That's so
pretty.
cute. I'm getting my iPad. I'm gonna do
I'm gonna take a picture of it.
Please do, yeah. So this chart came in my kit. So this was, I actually started off, I didn't have a party pad. They didn't have those yet. So this was what came in my kit. So now you guys can get a visual that, you know, Ruby's technically 5 people. And the average income you guys can see is $5.99. Sorry, I wrote on that earlier.
No.
Okay. So what I did was I also did the success with that, right? I'm gonna go through that with you guys. I'm gonna pass that with me.
Yeah.
Go through it. So
Yes, you just. Yeah.
you can show this little. I'll get a little zoomed in for them, but average earning for Ruby is $5.99, right? And the average family that's in, you know, bankruptcy that wants to get out, or house is getting foreclosed, or just people like that that just want extra money. You know, 500 or 600 extra bucks a month will make the whole world difference for them. So most folks just want Ruby, and that's what Corey said. Like, he was like, you know, I'll go executive, you'll go Ruby, we'll be happy in a year. That was our goal. So Ruby is the average goal for the average person coming in the business. So if you guys can start people here, as opposed to starting them here, ambitious folks will be like, yeah, Simon. But the average person's going to be like, this is all I can comprehend. I can't comprehend 25 boxes. This is terrifying. It was terrifying for me. I just kept putting my face down.
That's what my cousin tells me too. She's been like, I can't comprehend diamond, but Ruby, I can get.
I can get. And that's so many people.
Yeah.
It's not a lot. Like, we can
Yeah.
explain it once you get closer, but
Right.
beforehand, so you'll scare off prospects with this. They're like, oh, that's too much. I don't have time for this, right? This is too much time. But I think I can manage the time to get this done. So we start with Ruby. So as you guys can see, Emerald is just two rubies, right? And that averages you at $11.21 a month. and then diamond is about 19.10 a month, and then diamond is 3 rubies. So what I did here, I actually drew it out earlier. Let me see.
I have a quick question for you.
Sure.
Do you want a napkin or something?
No, I'm gonna leave it to you. Okay. Thank you.
I was gonna actually ask you, when you see the commissions, the average earnings, because people have asked me, is that with team member bonuses included, or is that just commission?
That's just commission and it's average. So when we say average, it means that everyone in the company, whether they've been here for 2 months or, 12 years, they're being averaged into that amount. So just have people keep in mind that, like, when they first go that promotion, they're not going to be at the front of the average most likely because they just hit it. And they're being compared to folks that have been Ruby for like 5 years,
Right.
So,
all right, so you heard that, guys. It's commissions only. So if you feel that you're a Ruby and your commissions are not hitting the $5.99, it's because you have to basically keep building and bring your volume up so you
it's
can make that. It's
yeah.
average.
So for, average is awesome because if you look at the chart here for triple and presidential and stuff, like, I'm an above average presidential. I don't want to be capped at 16K. I made more than that last month. I don't want you to tell me how much I can make.
Right.
So, the averages are awesome for that reason. But for diamond, to understand it, right? Because it is hard. It's like all these people. So we use the steps to success. So your goal every month is 3 people, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to start off with you. And then in your first month, or from here on out, we're going to get 3 distributors. There's 1 here, right? And then we're going to do the 1 here and the 1 here. So 3 people, right? You got these 3 people on front line. And your goal is to show your 3 people how to do the exact same thing, right? So you're going to show this girl how to meet her steps to success. You're going to have this guy meet his steps to success. And then you're going to have this person making their steps to success. Cool, right? And then you're going to have those people do the exact same thing, because it's not just what you're doing, it's what you're showing other folks to do too. So when this person meets their steps to success, this gets done, this person, that gets done, and this kind of so on and so forth. A little more than that. And then you're meeting your steps to success too, so when we cover these folks. So when you look at it, it really shouldn't be a thing where it's like, I gotta get all these people done. It's more of a thing where when you do your steps to success and you show people, it falls into place. It's just by 3 people. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So when I saw it broken out to me like that, I was like, okay, so now I know my job is teaching as much as it is growing. And I can't do one or the other. I can't just sit here and lecture y'all, right? Because y'all be like, okay, so you've been talking about this, but where your 3 people at? So I have to produce, right? And then I'm going to have, if I'm going to be producing, but you guys can't do what I'm doing, we'll never grow this quickly. Because now you guys are just like, well, you're doing good, but where am I supposed to be? So it's finding that balance. So that's the goal diamond quickly. Growing and teaching,
All right, that's about it. Does anybody else here have any questions?
Yeah, go ahead. Thank you.
Since you are presidential diamond, I am sure you have tons of people who talk to you daily, whether it's LC or DT. And then, yeah, so I'm sure. Sometimes I feel like I talk a lot and I'm like, so I can just imagine you. How do you do to follow up with them?
So I use the 2x2x2 rule to keep me sane. So when it's a potential customer, 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months. Same for potential DT, 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months.
Do you have like an Excel spreadsheet?
Yeah, that's what I want to know. Like, how do you? Because I have
a page for each person.
Because if it works, I got myself a MacBook.
Oh my God, you fancy lady!
And for school too, since I'm putting my dog in May. Again, I'm putting my dog in May. Again. So on the website, when you're in your eSuite, you have the export Excel. So I played around with it. I did that for my retail clients and for my LC. And then I also have this agenda somewhere in here. I tried, but like for instance, I got my hand injured and I didn't feel like doing crap. So I have like a whole week that I'm behind. And it sucks, and I have to go home and look at all my text messages and follow up. So do you have something easier? I'm a visual person, so I like to surround myself with 50 papers, and at the end of the day, I'm like, okay. asking what do I look
Yeah, what
for?
is this thing here? So that's why I had to buy, I don't suggest you guys go off and get Androids right now, but I had to learn how to schedule messages. It got to be too much. Whether you have a schedule or not, it gets to be too much. So for potential customers and stuff, like, I found out that I wasn't following up as much as I needed to be. Because they would say Friday, and I'm like, yeah, cool. Friday, we have to go. So what I started doing before was Evernote, which Corey put me on to. My phone's not
Yeah, I
right
like
here.
Evernote.
Evernote's amazing because then what I can do, if I had my iPhone, I'll put a reminder in through that, and that way it'll buzz my Mac and my two phones and my iPad. I can't ignore it. When I had this reminder on my phone, I could just swap it away. But when I physically have, because I'm busy, like my reminder went off for me today for a girl at noon, and I was still young. So I'm like, wake up. Goodbye, alert, I'm busy. And when I got back to my room, it came up on my Android. And that I need to be like yelled at by devices. Yeah. So when they yelled at me again, I said, oh, I get to call this girl at 12, and she's going to come over on Monday and get wrapped to become a distributor. She works at 40 miles. So, yeah, so that is what I had to do because I was terrible at it. Now, I was great at it. The Excel spreadsheet is where I started. And I actually wrote each customer's first name, last name, the day they signed up as a customer distributor. I wrote their the date specifically because I wanted to make sure I can remind them before the next day came back up. And the price they ordered, and if they had any special concerns, like, will probably be hostile, she doesn't change her product before the day. You know, like little notes and stuff like that. So that was what I started. I start every year. So awesome, man. It's so cute. And I always sitting there like, I have a phone up there. And I go to so the phone to come in. With distributors though, I do it differently. Like when they start, we learned this from Stephanie and Joel Dunn. They give their distributors tasks, and that dictates how much time you spend with them. So you guys will notice that everyone you bring in is not going to be ready to run. And what we found was that we were talking to news for 2 hours, and they would do nothing. And that was 2 hours. And like, that's a lot of time. So we wanted to figure out how could we layer our time so when people come in, we're giving them what they're ready for. People are going to start the business and not want to do the thing. And I wish that I could say I have found a way and a formula around that. I'd be richer than what I am. So we can't. But what I do is I start them off, I do orientation first, right? Orientation's about a half hour. My whole goal is when I talk to them is through phone to begin with, because I can't tell you my story through text. A lot of stories, right? And the story is what close people. Why? Because of the emotional part. I feel like I want to do this, not like the facts are awesome. No one's doing it because the facts are awesome. They're doing it because of the story. So we start them off there. They're already on the phone. They'll say, well, how can I get started? Whenever it's a customer distributor, my answer is always, well, if you're ready, I can create your account for you right now. We can get your kit sent out, your product sent out to you right now. And as a distributor, my goal is to just flow right in, right? So I'm like, if you're ready now, I can even do some orientation with you so you know exactly how to get started. That's an incentive, right? I want to get more info now. I don't want to get off the phone. So I go into a half hour. We cover steps to success. We cover the first part of my story, like how I started and how I rap people for success and the rap parties and the Instagram and how I use the tools, knowing that like, hey, like I'm telling you how to do what I did. I can't tell y'all to do it, but like if you want my success, I'm gonna give you the layout so you can decide if you want to follow it or not. So I give them that. I give them a task. And that's the one thing that Joel gave us that we weren't doing. We weren't giving them something to show us they were ready for leadership. We were just trying to make everyone a leader. And it wasn't working. So we tell them, go ahead and watch this video and then, message me back tomorrow, let me know what you think. It can be a short 5-minute video. If they don't get back to you the next day or ever, you're like if I gave you a video, you would come back and say, I watched it was awesome, nice question. Right? And you guys are like that too. You're like, you guys are here. You're still here. You're like, I want more info, right? So when you do that, you play a really big role in, of course, the person you're recruiting's life, because you want to give them information, but some of them aren't going to reciprocate that. So that way I'm staying, because I'm not spending 2 hours per person that's just not ready for success. So when they're ready, they know to contact me. And I'll check back into like you were too. I haven't talked to such and such in a while, so I did it today. A girl I've talked to since last week. I followed back up. Hey, just checking in. Hey, I'm gonna have my lunch party soon. Okay, awesome. You haven't done it yet? No. Okay. I'll check back in with you next week. I don't know. But I just stopped taking responsibility for feeling like if they don't launch off, it's my fault. That's because I give my opportunity for success and they just don't take it right away. Yeah.
Okay, I have a question. What network marketing literature or things do you recommend people to read as well?
Great
Like,
question. I'm a reader. Okay.
well, I'm a fact finder person, so that's what
You need that? Me too. Okay, so I would recommend you start with GoPro. You probably read that already. That's huge. Yeah. In terms of the business for people, especially people who keep this in mind, I think I gave it to you before. People who kind of struggle with like the personal development part, like being confident, being consistent. It's a book called Network Marketing Superstar.
You told me about that. I read it. It was really good.
It was really good. You like that one better than
Yeah.
you said. Network Marketing Superstar is awesome because after every chapter there's a worksheet, just like we did today, to help you kind of figure out who you are and like what's holding you back. So that book was really good.
It helped me go diamond, actually.
Good.
Remember?
Yes,
I was
let
reading that.
people know.
And I went diamond after I read it.
It's too good. That's good
Yeah.
to know.
it's
Promo time.
network marketing.
Tonight, I'm going everybody ship it to her.
I ain't even lying. Like, say something like, what's that?
Send
Send that to a kid to be there.
Here's a girl going down this month and she needs like the extra. We always do. When you're about to promote, you get mentally tired and you need to go from here back up. So
You
it's
get
good.
fried.
Huh?
You get fried.
Girl, yes. So that's a book. Sarah Robbins has a book called Rocking Your Network Marketing Business, I think. Something like that. So we're rocking things. And that book is really good because she covers scripts. So if you guys struggle with knowing what to say, she covers what to say in every circumstance. If people say I don't have enough time, she tells you what to say. People say I don't have enough.
Who's the author? Sarah who?
It's Sarah Robbins.
Okay.
And if you guys look her up on Facebook, she is amazing on Facebook and she's amazing. Her blog is awesome too. So even if you don't have the book right away, she's amazing just to read her blog. I actually shared it again with some folks that were struggling with the scripts. Her scripts are on her blog. So if they're struggling with, I don't have time, I don't have money, I don't have the funds, the support, like you hear that from prospects and you're not sure what to say, she gets some really awesome tips for that. And those are my favorite 3. I've read a couple others, but if you get through those and you're like, I want some more, but those 3 for me, they serve the purpose. The GoPro was like the intro for people who don't know what to expect. People start taking it personal, like, oh, people told me no, or they didn't sign up and they said they would. That book is great for folks understanding you're not wrong, you're not bad, you don't suck. It's just what to expect. But those other books, like the middle one was like how to develop you as a leader, and then the third book was how to handle, objections and things like that.
Yeah, part of the 90-day roller coaster. You start off at Disney, but also that you fizzle sometimes because things don't, happen.
Go where you want to go.
That's probably just,
Let's keep going. And the people who go back up are the ones that reach the success because people are watching us, right? So if you go really hard for 90 days and then you fizzle out and you stop, they're scared to be led by you.
Sure.
And I think that's a big piece of getting distributors too. People are scared to be led by quitters. Like if you're scared you're not going to be successful and you're not consistent in your business, I'm scared you're going to drop me when you drop your business because I've seen it happen. I was dropped by the girl who recruited me, so I don't want anyone to feel like, oh, I can't be successful because people will fear that. People will fear that. So you definitely have to keep that in mind. So you guys are lucky because you're here, right? But, you'll get people on your downlines, like Yami, who a person who texted me, signing her up, it's gone. So it doesn't dictate your success.
And she read off the child.
Yeah. I've been done by so many people because I'm like, hey, I know you didn't recruit me, but the girl recruited me quick 2 months after. So, here we are. Doesn't matter. Anything else before we wrap up for?
No, All right.
Well, we just appreciate your time. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. We just wanted to come because, again, I think the biggest piece that everyone's like looking for is just believing you can do it. Like when you don't have, when you hit your blinders on, you're like, I know it can be done. People have done it, and everything that's going around you will never fully stop. You'll always be a little bit broker than you want to be. You'll always be a little bit more busy than you want to be, but you just go and you get it.
With people, I mean, in conference, I think us three cried a lot, laughed a lot, and cried a lot.
Yeah.
The lady who lost her son or daughter, her baby,
Twin baby, right?
the baby that died in the sleep, she still went to conference knowing that happened because she found a purpose with the business. And when she said that, I was like, oh no, this is gonna go back to my admin table. Like, what's that? So, yeah, I mean, there's touching storms there. People who have it worse than us and still succeed. I mean,
there was a guy, he's a single guy in Hawaii, and he just promoted to Ruby, and he was homeless when he started, and he promoted to Ruby in an apartment. And every time I see that, when you guys ask about the distributors, like, what do you do with them? That reminds me that those who usually are ready, nothing. Like, he just said, I'm homeless and I'm broke, no internet on his phone, and he got to Ruby, like, whole in an apartment. So, like, when people give you excuses, it's like, but this guy just did it, and you have a house with peace, and you got, yeah.
I do have a question about the app.
Sure. Did it work for him?
Yes.
Oh, you.
Yeah. Do you have it?
I do have it. I used it like I am so stubborn. Okay. I'm like, why do I need to use the app? Because I have used it. So I'm working on it, right? Corey likes it because he likes anything new and shiny. But for me, I had used because they stopped us from being able to enroll people through the e-suite on our cell phones. So I've had to be forced to use it. The only thing that's made that, well, I learned because I'm part of it, right? So what I learned is that I just need their birthdays and their the CEV code on the back of their car. It's the biggest difference with it. But it stays logged in, which is awesome. You have to keep logging yourself.
Yeah, I like that.
I do like
keep
that.
track of my login.
And then when you go to enroll, you select the country that you want them to enroll them in, and then at that point you just start the process. Now it does look kind of confusing because it's gonna say it looks like it's really one thing in the cart. I think that's the biggest question look last week. I put the reps in the cart, but it's showing 2 boxes of reps. Why is that? It's saying when after their shipment for next month when you do it. So it might look kind of weird, but it just means they're putting the reps that are being bought today and then setting up the account for next month at the same time. So people are like, it's gross. I'm like, crazy. It's okay.
All right, you want to close out on the?
Sure. Well, thank you guys also for tuning in. It was nice meeting you guys. Good to see ya.
Bye, guys.